I didn't just lose a marriage, I lost the next 40 years of my life. That is not an exaggeration. Everything I had planned, everything that I had pictured, everything that I had been slowly building toward, it was all attached to her. And when she was gone, it was gone too. All of it in a single moment. The entire map of my future had disappeared. We had been traveling to different states, looking for a new place to relocate, visiting cities, sitting together as a couple, talking about, where we wanted to land, where we wanted to put down new roots, what our life was going to look like in the next 5 years, in the next 10, and the next 20. That was exciting. That was adventure. That is what it felt like to be building something with someone. We had a dream of operating a restaurant together. That was the big one, the dream that kept coming back to a place of our own, something we would build with our own hands and our own vision. I had that picture so clearly in my mind, the two of us behind that counter, creating something great together. We had travel plans, Europe, more of the world. We had already been to Mexico and Canada, and those trips were great, and we were just getting started. And then it was over, and all of it went with her, not just the person, the future. And here's what nobody talks about, that kind of loss. You can prepare yourself emotionally for losing someone. You cannot prepare yourself for losing the picture, because the picture was everywhere. Every goal I had, every dream I had, every plan I had, she was in it. And suddenly I had to figure out, not just how to live without her, but how to even think about the future without her in it. I couldn't, not at first, because I didn't just lose the future, I lost the will to have one. I was living in my car, sleeping in parking lots, then a storage closet, then an RV, and then somewhere in the middle of all that, I was drinking a bottle and a half of vodka every single day just to get through it. Not because I wanted to feel good, because I needed to feel less. The depression had its hands around everything. My thoughts, my days, my ability to imagine anything beyond the next hour. That is what's losing, the future actually looked like. Not a man sitting quietly processing his grief. A man completely consumed by it. A man who had stopped believing there was anything worth rebuilding for. I had watched 40 years of plans disappear overnight, and the darkness that followed was heavier than anything that I could have ever carried. I couldn't deal with the future because I couldn't even deal with the present. The pain was too loud. The loss was too big. I was just trying to survive what was right in front of me. And somewhere in that middle, all of that, I had to make a decision. Not a dramatic one, not a single moment, just a slow, quiet recognition that the depression was controlling what my future outcome was going to be. And if I did not get a hold of it, it was gonna take everything that was left. So I started making small decisions, one at a time. 8 weeks before I got on a plane to Colombia, I put down the hard liquor, just stopped, because I wanted my mind to be clear for whatever came next. I didn't know what was coming. I just knew I wanted to be present for it. That was the first decision I made for my future in a long time. And somewhere in that process, I started looking at goals that I had, the ones that I felt were dead, the ones that felt buried under the grief. And I started asking myself an honest question. Do I actually want this? Or do I want this, because it was ours? The restaurant was the hardest one. Part of me still wanted to do it, not because my heart was in it, but because my pride was. I wanted to prove I could do it, do it without her. And then I caught myself. I was about to make, one of the biggest decisions of my life, just to prove a point to someone I was never going to see again. So I let it go, not because I failed, because I finally started making decisions for me instead of the ghost of the marriage that was already over. And then I got on that plane a year and a half after my divorce. I flew to Colombia by myself. I had never done anything like that alone, but I wanted the experience. I wanted my mind clear and open for whatever that trip was going to give me. And I wasn't going to let the bottle take that from me too. By day 3, I had already made friends from Canada and Spain, Colombia, Costa Rica, Australia, people from all over the world who had no idea, who I used to be, no idea what I had lost. They just knew the man sitting in front of them. And I started traveling with them. Weeks of new places, new conversations, new experiences with people who had no connection to my old life. And for the first time since my divorce, I felt it. Happiness, real happiness, not the kind you perform for other people, the kind that just shows up when you're not looking for it. That trip unlocked something in me that the depression had changed and shut off. It showed me that I didn't have to be trapped, that I didn't have to be isolated, that there was a whole world out there around that I could heal through. Heal through the experiences, heal through the new people, the new places I had never thought I would ever see. It was the first reinvention of me. The divorce didn't take my future. It took the version of it, a future I actually chose, not inherited, not built around someone else, not chased to prove a point. And that was the only kind of future worth having. If this resonated with you, follow along with my story as I talk about my own personal divorces through my own lens in life. And I want you to subscribe and follow me along because there is so much more to this story.